9:05 a.m. up and at 'em. Good Saturday morning, YouTube. Wheeler here after a fairly good night's sleep. Not a ton of sleep, but that's about what I needed. There are all those film backs listed yesterday. Let's get those out of here, figure out what else we have here before we go for some more items. I'm pushing we go for more items before I actually get this stuff listed, but those will be in the next batch. I think I have 3 items there. This lens here goes to the Kony Omega down there. So I think in total I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and depending on how I want to part that out, so probably 7 items there total. So let's go find some. So I have a total around 20, and then let's get into that. First up though, coffee. Good coffee, there we go. Let's get these backs in a tote, and let's figure out what we have here. Pulled up another total lenses. These are kind of like oddball slash high-end lenses. There's some good zoom, Canon zooms down in there, and some other stuff. Let's take a look at what that stuff is. And then let's get all the stuff pictured and listed. Let's get the first batch through. Let's try and picture like, I don't know, 15 items and get them up. I wouldn't say this week it sucks for listing, but it hasn't been like super great. It's better than last week, but not as good as the first week. So let's hit into high gear and let's get a first batch out, a second batch out, and let's try to aim for 3 batches today, around 50 items. I was hesitant to say that at the beginning of the day, but if it make it happen, I guess I make it happen. Otherwise, I guess I'm just blowing smoke. Let's try it out. Short day today compared to some others. Okay, so here are all the lenses out of that tote there, and basically these were all the zoom lenses that didn't fit into the prime lens categories that we had in the other totes there. But we're also high-end, and I wanted to list pretty quick. As you can see, this is a Olympus Digital, which would be 4/3 zoom lens. There's a Pentax in here, and let's see, there's a Nikon there. There's 3 Canons right here, and then there's a couple oddball prime lenses, like this one here, which the rear lens cap just fell off there. But this is a Bausch & Lomb aerial lens. This is a 20-inch f5.6. Unfortunately, it's optically challenged right there. It has some separation. But from what I can tell on eBay, a lot of these got really beat up after they were used in the military. I saw one with a big chunk out of the actual ring right here, which is pretty crazy because it's pretty solid metal. So regardless, this should be worth some pretty good money. We didn't pay more than like 30 bucks for this. There's that big antique store closeout. I think it was in the last vlog that I ever uploaded, or one before it there. But either way, that should be a pretty decent one, and we're gonna have to see how it tests out and how optically it is, even though it has a couple issues there. Have a bunch of these kind of Zeiss Pro Tessar lenses, which aren't worth much, just front lens elements, and these Retina kind of front lenses. These sell okay, but only for like, I don't know, $50 to $70, so that's pretty decent too. This right here could be the wild card. That could be worth some pretty good money. I think this came off a Graflex, but I think this is actually a pretty rare lens. Kodak Ektar 180mm f5.6. Has this really crazy slotted aperture, kind of machined area right there. And another crazy thing right there. So I mean, just really high-end and oddball for Graflex. So I'm going to have to look that up. I'll be interested to see what that goes for. But anyway, got to get these tested, got to get some stuff listed. Let's go for the first 15 items in a batch, and let's get it rolling. Big part of momentum is actually momentum throughout the day. In the morning, you got to get started, and then keep that rolling throughout the day to keep the momentum rolling. It's kind of like a daily thing, as well as, obviously, a long-term thing. Okay, and there are the 15 items picked out for my first listing batch. Let's get these up and going with the timer and all, and let's see exactly how quickly I can get all those listed. Still have some minor cleaning to do on those. I did the first pass clean. I'm going to be doing the second pass here in a minute. One thing, dealer got me this cool new scale. I have had a 5-pound scale, like a mechanical scale in my office for a while, but it hasn't been that useful because I can't get to it. It's down there on the floor. This one should be really nice because I just pull it out when I need it, put it right on the tabletop, and weigh stuff. Just test how accurate it was there. Just put like a Morgan dollar on there. It says 27 grams before saying 28, and a Morgan dollar is 27.6 grams, brand new. This one has a little bit of wear on it, so 27 is a good rounding estimate about that. Go into ounces, says 1.0 ounces, so it's pretty accurate. Should be pretty good, goes up to 3 pounds. Good, good, good. Let's get this stuff cleaned and pictured. Okay, well that seemed like a lot longer, or felt like a lot longer, but 15 minutes only to fully clean, test, and get all these ready for picturing. So let's get those pictured and get them edited, see how long that takes. Just using kind of a stopwatch thing here to just kind of catalog how long everything takes. Part of the reason I was surprised that it took so short to test all those is because I felt like I put a lot more time into them. Some of these were a lot more complicated, and of course testing them was kind of oddball. This one had some fungus in it, so I cleaned that out. And one thing I'll show you here in the pictures, if I can get a good picture of them, those 2 dots in the lens, You think those 2 dots in the lens would be some sort of optical flaw or something that needs to be ascribed, but no, those are lens bubbles. In early lenses, those were actually almost desirable for an interesting thing they gave, but they're just a byproduct of the early optical makeup and process. So those are actually good. But anyway, there is the weird mechanical aperture system. Confused me at first because, as you can see, when you put it down on a pin, it does not change the aperture at all. But here's how it works. It's an early stop-down aperture. Basically, this pin right here is released on the camera, which would interface right there. And there you go, the aperture flies to the preset destination. Go back up there, open up, when you're ready to take a shot, put it down to there. It basically allows for easier focusing and framing with the aperture wide open, and when you want to take the shot, you stop down the aperture and take your shot and reset it for framing. It's definitely interesting with the pin and everything else, how that works, and it's pretty cool. Interesting early mechanical thing. Okay, 38 minutes in, and I had to do a little bit of repair on a camera here. Have my little knife sharpener that also doubles as like a light duty belt sander, and I was able to fully bend this back. This thing right here, I should have showed it before, but it was bent all the way down and crushed against the body of the camera. So I was able to straighten it out first off, and then I was able to sand it down. It doesn't look perfect, but at least it is usable. One on the other side there for comparison, and then the kind of mangled looking one that I sort of repaired. But anyway, there it is. So that took a little bit of time. 38 minutes from 15 or whatever we were at before. 38 total now with testing, cleaning, and picturing. There are the 90 photos. Let's get those up and edited. Usually it takes a little while to crop and everything, so I guess we'll see how long that takes. Starting the timer again. Okay, now about 58 minutes in, and all the photos are edited up, looking good, ready to list. Let's get those up and going. Let's get the timer going, probably set for like 4 minutes. Most of these listings will fall into that. A few will take a bit longer, like this last one here. But all in all, turned out pretty well. There's that big lens right there. And also there's a close-up I was talking about on the bubbles in the lens. They're definitely bubbles and not other flaws. There are 2 of them, and there's a small one right there. A little bit of dust on the other side there, but those are the 3 lens bubbles. And that's pretty normal. If you see those little lens, don't panic. That's how it's supposed to be. It's part of the natural old lens glass process. Okay, getting the listings cranked up and going there. 14.2 ounce Takumar F 28 to 80 millimeter lens listed past the 4-minute timer and into the next one. So like 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's get out of the next one. Next up here, SMC Pentax F 35 to 80 millimeter lens, 57 seconds remaining on the 4-minute timer. Pentax FA 28 to 80 millimeter lens, 1 minute 52 seconds remaining. SMC Pentax F 35 to 70 millimeter lens, 1 minute 50 seconds remaining on the clock. Pentax M 40 to 80 millimeter lens, 1 minute 14 seconds remaining. Nikon Zoom Nikkor 43 to 86 millimeter lens, 17 seconds remaining. Had to remake a listing there, or make a listing for it. Well, there you go, that's pretty crazy. Canon FD 100 200 millimeter zoom lens, 0 seconds remaining on the clock, but it didn't ring yet. I stopped it between 0 and 1 seconds. Nearly pulled the exact same thing with this one, but it was about a second late. There you go, listed 2 under 1 listing there. Since these 2 are completely identical in every way, condition, and everything else. And I'm probably going to set a 10-minute timer for some of these harder pieces to list, so let's get that set and let's get going. I bet it won't take that long, but it should take fairly close on a couple of these. We have this lens right here, we have that one, and we have this camera, which this camera probably won't take too long. But just wanted to get a little bit longer. I'm 100% sure we'll make it within 4 minutes on those. 1948 Kodak Ektar 190mm lens, listed up, 3 minutes 23 seconds remaining on the 10-minute timer. They list that at $320, so pretty decent. Okay, listed up this World War II 1943 Bausch & Lomb 20-inch large format aerial camera lens. This weighs about 6 pounds, 32 seconds remaining on the 10-minute timer. Very interesting here. Besides the minor separation, it's actually a real nice shape, and this thing is a beast of a lens. There is the camera that came off of, or at least here's the lens shown on the camera. This is listed at $2,000 with like 30 watchers. And as you can see, there it is right there, a Fairchild. Let's see, what is it? What's the model number on there? Fairchild F56 aerial camera. Quite a deal, and that's the camera this lens came off of. So anyway, it's up at 500 bucks. Maybe a little bit high, but a lot of these aerial lenses are pretty desirable. It's quite a odd focal length and aperture combo because it's used for aerial photography and possibly even night photography due to the really fast aperture. Telephoto and fast, there it is, listed up. We paid like 30 bucks for that, but of course it was on a weird sale day and a bunch of other things. They had it priced at $150 before sales. Okay, Hasselblad NC2 45-degree prism viewfinder. Probably could have made that on the 4-minute timer, but 5 minutes, 34 remaining on the 10-minute timer. Works fine for me. Kenko 2X Tele Plus AF teleconverter from Minolta Maxim and Sony Alpha cameras. Not a lot of these out there, and pretty uncommon. Listed $70, 6 minutes, 23 seconds remaining on the clock. Could have made that one on the 4-minute timer, even with this from-scratch listing. Definitely get in the groove. If I could list a completely from-scratch listing like that, under 4 minutes, that's pretty decent. Nikon autofocus extension tube set, listed up at $60. Pretty decent. The Kenko ones go even better. But off-brand autofocus extension tube sets go pretty well. Okay, the timer's running down. This one here is Stereo Colorist, but I still need to test it and found some interesting things about it. Played around for a little while trying to figure out how to get the shutter to cock and fire because the top knob here was doing nothing. And basically in the film compartment here you have to act like the film's loaded, so basically you wind the sprocket right here with 2 fingers till it seems completely ready. And then the shutter should fire. There you go. And that's you can test at each speed. Just kind of a trick to get around the shutter lockout mechanism. As you can see, shutter's open and shutter's closed, so that one works fine. Definitely some other issues. It seemed like it was dropped a couple times because I had to repair that side piece there, and then this knob here was a bit crooked. Okay, Bell & Howell TDC Stereo Colorist camera, listed up at $120, even with the minor issues it has, just kind of bent stuff, and stuff that's been repaired a little bit. But anyway, 7 minutes 20, remaining on the second start of the timer, so just under 13 minutes on that listing, because I do a lot of testing and kind of trying to figure out what was wrong with it and how to explain it. Seems like either got dropped or probably more likely slightly crushed in handling over the years, as this knob here is a little bit bent, which doesn't really affect it much. It has kind of a rust spot on one side. And then obviously this thing has been repaired right here, which was crushed against the camera body. Okay, at last of the 15 items here, Rollei Magic TLR camera neck strap lugs. 8 minutes, 6 seconds remaining on the clock. We're at 5:20 p.m. Let's go find some more easier to list items so I can get a bunch of numbers up for today. Got the dollar amount, and now I just need the number. Okay, so I think the plan is to look under this table and find some pre-made totes. We made a big sort a while back, and we have all kinds of pre-made totes, all kinds of stuff. So let's see what I can find. One option, I mean, we have some more lenses, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to look for something different than those. So let's take a look. We got all these Minolta lenses here too, which should be pretty easy and quick to list, but most of them aren't worth much. So anyway, let's take a look and I'll let you know what I find. Now this here is actually something really cool. This is a Nikon D1 released somewhere around the year 2000. I'm not sure exactly. I could go look that up, and I probably will here in a little while. But as you can see, this looks like a Nikon F4 F5, one of the professional cameras, but it's their first digital camera they made. Has a screen cover of the screen right now, but this is really interesting. First of all, because it is in the original box and seemingly in really, really nice shape. Has the original box as full of accessories and has the original outer system box. The one issue with it says as is, powers on, but shutter only fires intermittently. But the deal is, this is going to be worth something to collectors just because of the completeness. And actually I want to check the shutter count on this thing and see if it's anywhere in the low range. Maybe this was a store return or something early on. If it's anywhere under like, I don't know, 10,000, that would be quite a find, because Nikon collectors for the first digital Nikon probably pay $300 for this, even for parts condition. So I'm going to go look that up and try and do that, just kind of a side project on top of listing a bunch. So let's just bring that up there and let's look for other stuff that's easier to list. I'll have to see if I can find an original retail price on this camera, but depending on how old it is, if it's as old as I think it is, I bet this camera is originally around the $10,000 mark in, like I said, 2000 or something like that. It has 2 batteries in there, has original charger and everything, so that's just quite a find. Even for parts in that kind of condition, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick sort, but here are the 2 potential candidates for stuff that's easy to list and very, very good. Just gotta lay this stuff out, sort it into a tote, and bring it up and get it listed. Wow, 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 lots of crazy good stuff in there, possibly some $100 lens caps. I'll have to show you once I get to them. But there's some items on the table, there's some items in the tote. There's some stuff I'm leaving for a dealer, kind of begrudgingly, but he does an okay job on those, and they go for pretty good money, so I'll let him have them. So anyway, let's get this upstairs, let's get it going, let's get it listed. Should be around 60 plus items in here, so I should be able to make 50 pretty easy if I get on it. Okay, so I have the Nikon D1 here, and I'm just going to charge up one of the batteries so I can test it out later. This neck strap kind of gives away that it has been used a little bit more than maybe I thought, but it still seems in very nice shape, and there's now a way to read the shutter count there. I'm going to try a trick later to see if I can. But either way, this thing was released in 1999. Here's a review from 2000, and it's basically heralding it as the next super budget SLR camera. Of course, it has a 2.74 megapixel CCD, and apparently this thing's big claim to fame was that it was 1/4 the price of its nearest competitor, which would be the Kodak DSC series cameras. This one was actually a lot cheaper than I thought. It came in at a measly $5,000 in 1999. So that's actually quite a deal for a camera like this. Apparently at the time, I had figured it was more in the 10,000 range. So I guess I wasn't far off if you're talking the previous cameras to these, which we have had before. And some of those are, oh man, really interesting and really crazy. I mean, some are twice that size and all that stuff. The early digital stuff is just a whole nother way to go down. But anyway, I'm going to look it up right now and see about what I can expect to get for it, if it is in fairly good shape, just for a collector or whatever. But there it is, the Nikon D1. Wow, so like I thought, these are rare. There is a rough condition original box for a Nikon D1, and that's all I can find for the actual D1. If you go here, they made the D1X and the D1H a couple years after the D1. There's one that went box for $300. And here's one that won box for $202 and $135. But these are D1Xs and D1Hs. This original D1 is for sure a collector's piece. And man, I'm probably gonna list that up at $300 or $350. That's a rare one, just for collection. Doesn't matter if it works or not. And in good condition to boot with 3 extra batteries, all original. That's just crazy. Cool, cool find. I think we paid 50 bucks for it. So we definitely paid up for it because the guy was like, well, it's a collector's item, whatever. He knew that it was a collector's item, but we're still gonna make pretty good money on it. And just all in all, wow, how many of those are you ever going to find? Okay, so I guess I actually have a scheduled thing tonight that I just set up here, last second thing. I'll put my friends in town, take some new photos of his car. I always like to practice with that kind of stuff. He got a new truck recently, so I guess I'm gonna go take some photos of that here between 8:30 and 9 p.m. So a quick little thing. Told him no long, but anyway, I guess I'm gonna go do that. So I have to have a quick listing hour before that. Here are around, let's say, approximately 15 to 20 items. Let's try and get them listed, or at least mostly listed, in 1 hour. Timer starts now. Or if I was actually being realistic, timer starts now. There it is, let's go. 2:35, all items fully cleaned, ready to go, tested, anything that needed to be done there. Could be a couple high-end items in here. This lights cap may be very rare, may not be rare, but it seems to be made of hardened leather over a plastic bottom. Could be very valuable, could not be, who knows. All of these Kodak Retina lens hoods are super scarce, super awesome. So they're gonna take a little bit longer to list. Unfortunately, compared to like super easy items, but those are expensive and really nice. Have a Leica lens hood. Whoa, camera took 20 seconds to focus. Leica lens hood, crinkle finish, very high quality, very nice. Probably worth some pretty good money. And then this right here, Hasselblad lens hood, new old stock B70. That's gonna be worth some pretty good money. Have to look it up to see how much, but let's get it pictured up. And there you go, seemed longer than that, but 1507. And done with all the photos. Let's get them imported and see how they turned out. How many I have here in total? If I had to guess, over 100. Okay, waiting for all to import here. Looks like we have 79 photos, and I tried to shoot these all so they're both in sharp focus and also cropped, so I don't have to crop all of these. Might be 1 or 2 that I have to, but most of them I should have framed it all up right, where it should be good. Let's put the general preset on it, check if there's any green in any of them, and get them up. Get that step done. Okay, checked them through, cropped a few, and now it is ready to export and go here. Let's check our time. That didn't take much time at all because I had some forethought to actually try and it was done before that, 1848, and now we're exporting the files. It'll take a little while. Let's bring this up in the screen right here though, and get to listing that one at a time. Let's get it going. Okay, first set of listed up would be a lens hood, 2222, left on the clock. 2 Vivitar 49mm lens hood, 2454 rating. Fortunately, this is in perfect condition, but this one is rare. Look at that one sold for 100 bucks. These ones don't matter if we have one sold for 100 bucks. And let me check listed quickly. And one listed for 60 in just okay shape. We're gonna be golden for this one. Even in just okay condition, I'll probably list this up at like 55 bucks, 60, 65 bucks, somewhere there. Real good one. $68.99, Topcard RE Auto Top Core lens hood, 2828 remaining on the clock. Okay, right out of stickers, gotta take a minute to write up some more. There we go, written up, and sorry if I'm kind of cutting these a little bit short. I noticed when I press the record button a little bit too early, it cuts off the clips. I guess we'll see if it does any of these. I'm kind of hyped up and going. I'm sure you get, and also I keep saying remaining on the clock, but it's not remaining. Okay, next item. Okay, 3201 Vivitar 67mm lens hood. It's all about precise keystrokes and efficient listing to get these done quick. Okay, it took longer than usual here. I had to do some serious research and figure out what lenses fits here. It's for a macro planar lens, 55 bucks for this Hasselblad lens cap. Most of them go for like 15 or 25, so that's pretty good. 38, 16, Minolta MD lens hood for 28mm lenses. Rotogon lens bubble, Rotostock Rotogon Lodging lens bubble there, 4242. Took me a little while to find a comparable listing. Got that up and listed. On to the next one. None sold, one single one listed, 154. Free shipping on this Hasselblad lens hood. Get listed up at $169.99, new old stock, and that's going to sell. That's awesome. Good score. Listed up, 46 minutes, 36 seconds. There it is, $170, $170. Okay, what's good? This is Kodak tank and tray thermometer. Unfortunately, just noticed it's broken. So I'm pretty sure that's not worth anything. So let's just throw that out. It's too bad. It would have been 30 bucks, I think. Okay, 5053, I have a really interesting item here. Most items they list as new old stock means they've been taken out of the box a few times. I mean, they're just not perfect shape, even though they are brand new, never used. This one, new, listed as new. Look at that. This lens hood is still in the original packaging material, and it's all formed around it. I mean, you can't barely take this paper off here. I did for the photos. But this thing is pristine new compared to just new old stock, which it could be missing the manual, who knows. I mean, just old. This thing, brand new, first one I've seen like that. That's cool. Yeah, this is new old stock. As you can see, missing the manual. It's just not in 100% complete condition, but it is brand new, never used before. Lens hood, case, $80, 54 minutes. Going. I was gonna say remaining, but 54 minutes going still. Box, Minox, Flash Gun, 5809, listed up here at $26. Steam is running out. Last two items. Even though I have more here, I only have time for two more items. Let's get it done. Okay, just broke an hour. I have a bonus listing. I'm going to be listing a flash bulb adapter, but there are two Nikon Air 2 shutter releases listed at $30 each. Okay, 30th listing right here. Flash bulb adapter for $18.99, 103. I'm pretty sure that's about it. I'll be back after the shoot to get a few more easy items listed, some rare stuff, which I still have to list. I just go in order of which ones I took photos of first. Pretty good results. I think that was 16 items or 15 items or 14 items or something like that, but all in 1 hour, fully tested, pictured, edited, everything. What an achievement. Pretty good. On with the day, on with the night, supercharged. Okay, back in the office here. I didn't really vlog anything out there, but I might show some photos or something. We'll see there. Nothing super great. I'm still practicing all the photography of vehicle stuff, but it's good practice, and that's why I'm out there doing it. I've done it a couple times with this, I'm guessing it used to be known as the Unknown Filmer or whatever. What do we used to call them? I don't remember, whatever. Old vlog lore, who knows. But anyway, back in the office here, 9:36 p.m. Let's get the final 10-ish items listed. That should be pretty good. Let's try to do that. And there you go. If I got home a little bit earlier, I probably could have got a couple more listings out, but I'm pretty happy with 37 for today, especially since some were pretty high-end items. Look at this hood right here. This is Elites Wetzlar Germany Sumerit lens hood. It has a couple little spots where the brass is worn through there. This is anodized or crinkle finish brass that's got like this whole ribbing thing on the inside. It's pretty smooth. It's got an asymmetrical inside there. And if you look at the bottom here, or if you look at the top, maybe you can see it. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not. I can definitely see it. It is actually shorter on the bottom than it is on the top. So all in all, this is a very, very well made and very interesting lens hood. And you'll wonder why I'm talking about the build quality of a lens hood. Here's where I listed this at right here. $240. That's crazy for a lens hood like this. But there are plenty of sales records for that. And let me show you a couple that are listed here that are just insane. Some people are crazy with their listings. They price stuff too high. But these ones right here are listed for $450, $400, $400, $370, $400, $300, $280. I mean, it's just pretty crazy. Some people price stuff too expensive. But anyway, I think that'll sell fairly quickly for $240. That's quite a lens hood right there. It's a lot nicer shape than a lot of these ones that sell. Glad we got that one. I always tend to find something interesting in our boxes here. A lot of Leica stuff isn't worth anything, but the ones that are worth money, Leica stuff is very expensive. Okay, one more thing here before I end off the vlog. Let's go try and see if this battery down here has any charge in it. Let me go find this thing. I plugged it in here. There it is. Okay, here we go. We got a battery. Let's try and put it in the correct direction. Seat it, turn it, and let's see. Do we have power? Ding, ding, ding. We have power. Woo! Okay, this Care from 1999 lives. Let's see, we'll take a shot. Nope, not with all lens. So I guess that's about it for today on that. I will be coming back to that on Monday and get that listed up. Anyway, I guess the last thing to do here is to add up the number for today. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good. 37 listings plus a number. And for some reason, I think that's what people are saying about the shutter problem. It is just clicking off randomly right now. It's kind of strange. Okay, good vlog for today. Good stuff for today. Final total here, $3,238 and 37 items. Few rare items, and all in all, a very good listing day. Hopefully it's repeatable on Monday again, or I should say, not hopefully, it's going to be repeatable on Monday again. And I'll be back with you then. Probably won't film anything on Sunday, but I'll try to get caught up on some of the vlogs I have to edit still, and those photos I took tonight. Anyway, that's about it for this vlog for today. I'm rambling. Wheeler out. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed. Stay tuned for another vlog tomorrow.